What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Your favorite primetime channel is here, and your favorite primetime crew is here. Enters the Lab is back for another season of college football and national football mayhem. We got much to discuss today with the NFL training camp is here, and much more with the college football landscape has changed in over the year. Your favorite crew, your boy DT, C. Henry, and Lady E. We're going to enter the lab with you. Let's kick it off.
My fault. What happened? I'm eating Popeye.
This man says eating some Popeyes. Commercial.
I'm ready for a break.
Save this clip.
Wipe your hands. Wipe your hands.
Commercial.
We over here about to die thirst over here.
Thing on the menu today, bro, and that's work. That's work for 60 minutes, bro. That's the only job we got to do today, bro. What you playing for? What you playing for? What you playing for? What y'all?
Get real lonely with the mic on, bro. Just want to talk to my friends.
What up? What up? What up, everybody? It is Enters the Lab. Another season with the crew, with the gang. Y'all click like and subscribe to the channel. It's your boy DT. We got Lady E and we got the OG C. Henry. Family, we back.
What up, though? What up, though?
Henry always got to be over here chilling.
Chilling, baby. Chilling, man. Chilling. Long day of work. Chilling. Happy that the season is upon us. It's about to be a magical ride for us in Detroit, man. I missed y'all. What's good?
So you had to come in here and say it's going to be a magical ride for Detroit, then say you miss us.
It's kind of nasty.
I'm thinking
it's kind of nasty work.
I'm thinking highly of Atlanta as well. I'm prayers and wishes to Washington as well. You know what I'm saying? It's all about good karma this time of year. You know what I'm saying? No hate until the end of August. You know what I mean?
He said no hate until the end of August. All right.
Real.
But it's glad to see everybody back. We had a little break then and there after the draft covers, but now look, we back to football. We training camp is here. We see majority of the teams getting ready for the preseason, and obviously the first game of action will be the Houston Texans and the Chicago Bears August 1st. That's going to be very exciting to see. But so far, like what we've seen, man, how excited are for y'all for this season coming up with college football and NFL season around the corner?
Who we starting off with first?
Ladies first. We starting off with you.
No. I'm talking about which one? We starting with NFL?
Oh,
first
anything. Like, I'm just excited football is back in general. Like,
oh, okay. I'm like, y'all gotta let me know where we start off. But I'll start with college.
You got different personalities. I get it.
I know I do. College. Welcome to the new standard. Welcome to them Georgia Bulldogs. The new standard. I got to put my dogs out there. But no, I'm excited. I'm definitely excited to see Beck under year 2, especially under Bobo, see what we can do. I'm excited for the additions that we got because we actually got some playmakers as far as our wide receiver. Core goes. We got some new running backs coming in. As well, so shout out to that defense, young defense. We did lose some talent on the defensive end to the draft, but hey, we coming up big. We making sure that defense is what it's supposed to be. My young guys in the back got to step up, so we ready. You know what I'm saying? And then Taylor over there to the team over there in Flowery Branch, aka ATL shouted. Excited to see Kurt got cleared today medically. So that's exciting to know that he's more than likely day one starter, unless God forbid any setbacks. But good to see Michael Penix out there as well. I'm ready to see what Kyle Pitts can do with another good quarterback. He finally got after 2 years, he got a quarterback that can throw the ball. Ready to see that. Ready to see my wide receivers. Grady's back, looking great, looking excellent. Yes. So ready to see what my defense got to go to. Shout out to Jesse Bates, that leader over there as well. So yeah, it's a lot of excitement going down here in the A. I'm over here sounding like Raheem Morris a little bit. He done rubbed off on me. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, I'm like GDT, man. I'm excited about the whole Shaboing Boy and Boogie. I mean, from college, you know what I'm saying? I'm a Michigan fan. I'm interested to see, you know, what our season holds. We got the expanded Big Ten, the new look Big Ten, if you will, with Oregon, USC, UCLA, and Washington coming to the conference. So eager to see what those teams and those new rivalries and game environments bring to the Saturdays, if you will, to the Big Ten. Also, you know, when you look at from the standpoint of Michigan, we got to figure out who our quarterback is going to be, and can he adequately, you know what I'm saying, guide this team. Lost a lot of talent from last year, but a lot of talent comes back. So that's going to be interesting to see. And again, with all the player movement, man, amongst the college football, just want to see, you know, if your Buckeyes are going to be able to buy themselves a championship or a win and in the rivalry. You know what I'm saying? They didn't spend a lot of money. I see you got your Buckeye red on. You know what I'm saying? I might have to call you. I might your nickname might be Bucky today on the show today. That might be your nickname because I see you really bucked up today. So, but no, it's gonna be interesting to see. And I got to talk about Prime, man. What they gonna do in Colorado? What they gonna do, man?
No, we need a special segment on Colorado because I might get moved for this.
I'm excited about college and the pros, man. Listen, this is the best drama, the best play every year, man. We just wanted to get a chance to just sit back and just watch it unfold. I think, you know what I'm saying, for the first time in a long time, we're positioned to be leading actors, if you will, in this drama. Just praying for health and no major setbacks, and just kind of see how this season plays out, man. So, yeah, I'm definitely ready for the season, man. Let's go. Let's go, Blue. Let's go, Lions. We fired up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I'm done with the strays being caught up here. Since you're a Michigan boy, it's going to have to start drinking milk for the first time in a while. So, but you know, one of the things I'm very interested in is I'm not even just going to point out to my team. I'm just interested in just the landscape of college football overall with NIL deals going all over the place. A lot of transfers we've seen this year. The expanded conferences. We got Texas, we got Oklahoma now in the SEC. You have USC in Washington, UCLA in the Big Ten, and you got the little old Pac-12 with two of the things over there by themselves, you know, playing Uno 101 against each other. So I want to see how the landscape is and how it ties into the 12-team playoffs and how will the committee move with some of the games that's on the schedule. Because once you look at the schedule this year, you got a lot of blue bloods going against blue bloods on almost every single week. So it's going to be a lot of things that's going to push away the schedule and how you grade wins, strength of schedule, who had the prettier win, who has the better team. It's going to be a lot of things. And look, obviously we're talking about 12 teams, and more than likely they're going to have to update even more in a couple of years to 14 or probably however they want to do it to match with even the lower levels of college football with how they do their playoff schedules and things of that nature. And then obviously, you know, with the NFL, big news with Washington, Jada Daniels and the new regime, Dan Quinn taking over year one. We'll see how we'll be moving in that direction. I'm very interested to see, you know, how in terms of this team, of the overhaul, how much can continuity be and how much can they grow together? Because there's definitely going to be questions that I definitely have as I go to this training camp, obviously with offensive line concerns, the secondary concerns, and who's going to be rushing the passer, who's going to be that guy at edge rusher that's going to be constantly bringing the pressure with Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen on the defensive line. So those are some things I'm definitely willing to see coming this off season. I mean, not off season. Not off season. It's the season. The season over here.
We live. Yeah, we live.
A while. Season about here.
No, just to even speak on that on the college about the college football playoffs. I was reading up on it just to see, and it's gonna be some fights. It's really gonna be some fights at the end of the season because one thing that shocked me about it is that we know 1 through 6 can have, you might as well say almost like that automatic. But if we base it off of what was a season last year, the 12th team, even though Oklahoma was ranked number 12 with a 10-2 record, because Liberty was the 6th highest ranked conference champion at 13-0, they will take that number 12 spot. So I'm definitely excited to kind of see how that goes, because we already know 1 through 4 is going to be conference champions that win those conference championships. And then, the 2, 5, and 6 is going to be the 2 second best after those conference championship winners. And then 7 through 12 got to buck it out. You don't have to buck it out. Strength of schedule is going to be taking a look in your record, all of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be some true fights that are going to be going on when it comes down to that 7 through 12 spot. So I'm ready to see it.
I'm looking forward to, like you say, some of those battles or comparison of teams at the end of the year. A team that, maybe say like a team like Michigan, who may lose to a team like Texas early in the season, lose to Oregon, lose to possibly Ohio State, or beat Ohio State and somehow play them again in the championship game, lose and somehow become a 3-loss team. Or if Ohio State did that and somehow got 3 losses, I should do it. That's a better scenario. If they somehow
you're right, but I would just
how would the committee look at how would the committee look at those teams? Say if the other 2 teams that they lost, or the other 3 teams that they lost to, are in the college playoff and fairly highly ranked, would those 3 losses be looked at as and say all games were close? Let me put all games were close. How would those 3 losses be looked upon versus a team that maybe in the Big 12 and it lost to some unranked team, you know what I'm saying, somewhere along the season, had a bad game and then possibly lost in their conference championship game. And it comes down to maybe those 2 teams being in the playoff, you know what I'm saying? Because now you have a team, both are not going to be their conference champions. Now we're looking at resume. What's a good loss? What's a bad loss? 3 versus 2. So it's going to be interesting. So I'm definitely fired up about it, man, for sure.
Yep, it's going down in college this year. The saying is going down.
Don't let these new teams in the SEC, you know what I'm saying, come over here and knock y'all off your perch. Because I know you keep saying this Georgia stuff, but you know what I'm saying, I don't want to, Texas. They may come in there and do something.
So I'm gonna make this comment about those 2 teams.
You got Alabama with the new coach. Don't let him come in there and get the stumping on y'all.
So look, here goes the thing. I'm gonna make a comment about the 2 teams, okay, that just came in. Oklahoma has been owning Texas since 2009. Okay, Texas just finally won the Big 12 after a 14-year drought. I am not scared of no Texas, let alone Oklahoma still got to go through their growing pains. Now, if that was a Bob Stoops Oklahoma team, we can have a little conversation, okay? But no, even when Texas beat Georgia in a bowl game and they said that they was back, they wasn't back the following year. Texas has been inconsistent when it comes down to having winning seasons.
You saying, let me get this straight. They fugazi.
Very fugazi.
Okay, y'all heard it.
Very fugazi.
So how long do you think it takes for Oklahoma to get up to that level? I mean, we seen first 2 years on the Venerable, solid first year. I think they kind of fell off the second half of the season last year, but they still won a bowl game, and still trying to see how that rebuild is going. And now they're automatically heading into the SEC, and you see some of the markets they have, and it's like how do you feel about Oklahoma heading to how much can they get the development in their first year in the SEC?
It all starts in the recruiting. They gotta up that recruiting. You gotta find some way. And I mean, we know money gonna be thrown, but you gotta make Oklahoma sound like something, sound promising. I mean, we seen the likes of it when Texas A&M came in. They got their recruits. We seen Missouri have their recruits come in once they came in also. So this is a new territory. You got a new logo backing you a little bit, but I hate to say it. SEC is all about trenches, and Big 12 teams, we know they can play offense, that defense be suspect. So it's really gonna have to be, in a sense, they're gonna have to really, really up that recruiting. They gotta find some way to make Oklahoma appeasing.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so another question I have. So we talk about, majority of the teams we know they're in conferences, but we all know the one team that's usually they're not in a conference, but they are a blue blood as well is Notre Dame. How does the 12-team playoff play into the favor, or does it hurt Notre Dame for this coming year?
It can help and then it can hurt. Because we know Notre Dame kind of plays that ACC schedule to try to, make it to the conference to be able to get in that way. But again, like we said, with the Notre Dame kind of fugazi too. They can start out the season real good, look like they got some promises, and then drop some games that they should have never dropped, to be honest with you. So that could come back and hurt them as well, because now it's, the scheduling. I think honestly this year, scheduling is really going to matter going forward. When it comes down to it,
you play A&M week 1.
Yeah. Scheduling is gonna have to. They're gonna have to beef up that scheduling a little bit more, and stop trying to run away from these teams.
I'm looking at. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead. We'll finish up.
No, you good. No, you good. What you gonna say?
I brought up that schedule. And first of all, you brought up a good point. They play the ACC. So really, they're not really, as strong as they've been in the past. Clemson hasn't really been, doing what they're supposed to do. Florida State had lost a lot last year. This schedule is got Texas A&M, Northern Illinois, Purdue, Miami, Louisville, Stanford, Georgia Tech, Navy, Florida State, Virginia, Army, USC. If they gonna do anything, this is the year.
I will legitimately,
because I find it hard to see 2 to 3. I mean, 3 losses I think kind of eliminates teams. This will be an interesting case because this schedule is not, that great. So the 2 losses that they would absorb here, I mean, you would probably Florida State maybe, but again, how much, how good are they going to be with what they have coming back? Again, how good would Louisville be? Texas A&M, how good were they last year? I know they had a lot of talent there, but I know it's been kind of
they lost a lot of talent too.
They lost a lot of talent, but Mike Elko, he was the former DC at A&M. Then he left, became the coach at Duke. Now he returns after your guy, not your guy, but I'm just saying I can't remember his name right now. He got fired, so he's taking over that program
from Florida State.
Jimbo Fisher
took the money and ran.
They have talent, but it's just they
lost major talent. That class that was number 1 that they basically paid for.
Yeah,
no longer.
So it's gonna be interesting to see how they're gonna look.
They might put something together. Notre Dame, this might be the year for them. I see 10, 11 wins. Not easily, but they lost their quarterback too, so we got to see what they like. They lost Estime as well, so yeah, we got to see kind of what they're gonna be. But yeah, you might be on to something, Lady E. You might be on to something. You was quick with it though. You was quick with it. You ain't give Freeman no shot at it. They full crazy too.
Again. What has Notre Dame showed us over the year? When they play good and then they just drop an egg, they literally lay an egg. So again, they had favorite times that they could have actually been that squad, but then they lose games they're not supposed to be losing. They turn back around and they do other things or whatever the case may be, and then boom, there we have it. Then when we did give them a shot twice, what happened? So again, I'm ready for that Notre Dame. Like again, I'm ready for college football to be honestly very competitive. I don't like the shoe-in anymore. Again, like some people were saying, I know I had conversations with people, there might not be an undefeated team in the SEC this year. Might not be. So we'll even see when it comes down to that. If there is somebody, then hey, That's what it is. But there might not be an undefeated squad in the SEC because of how certain schools have their schedule set up. So again, I feel like going forward, scheduling is really, really going to play a big part. You can't be running from these schools no more. Can't do this every 4 to 5 years. You play these schools. These home schedules might be ramping up a little bit, playing some top notch. Shout out to UCLA that decided not to do the home schedule with Georgia, but it's okay though.
Did you see? Since you bring up UCLA real quick, and I don't really normally do this, but I was slightly embarrassed.
Come on, Henry.
I was slightly embarrassed. What you talking about, DC? What you mean?
I know
you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, man.
Come on, man.
Did you see that interview from my brother, man?
I saw the
interview. You tell me now. What type of hook am I gonna? But now what type of bull? I'm just here not to be fine. Is what he should have just said. He should have just out. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, I'm just here so I won't get fined, brother. That's all.
It ain't fine. It's get fired. That's what it is. That's why he ran from Georgia.
Bro. You've been waiting your whole life for this opportunity. I thought. That's all right. I ain't gonna do like that. I'm
look at his introductory press conference when he got introduced as a coach, and to now it's like a night and day.
I think he went
through the trials and tribulations already, man.
Man, I think that he already looking for his next job, and it ain't got to be in front of the mic.
Yeah,
it don't have to be, but I'm just saying, man.
All right, one more thing on the college, then we're gonna go straight to everybody at the NFL. Now, give me one team that you think everybody is sleeping on in the college football world.
College football world, who they sleeping on? I mean, besides us,
you see the shot, DT.
No, I think people sleeping. I see why they sleeping. Our offense is going to be, it's all question marks, but defensively, I think we can come back just as good as everybody. I mean, maybe as good as last year, but I don't know. You know what? And again, it makes it so hard to even, know what team, who is where now, because there's been so much movement. You know what I mean? So, slept on. That's a good question. Give me a second, lady. You got somebody in mind? Or
I was out of my conference, Missouri. Because the only reason why is they got an easy schedule. So it could be a cakewalk from them to make it to the SEC championship. So I would say a lot of people probably can underestimate them. I have my doubts. I'm mad that somebody said Tennessee because, again, unless Nico comes out looking like Lamar Jackson or something, I'm not giving Tennessee no breath of fresh air. I mean, Nico's good. I like Nico. I think he's going to be a great asset as one of the QBs in the SEC. But unless there's some development with his passing and not getting him to run a lot, then yeah, I can give Tennessee those props. But other than that, I'm going Mizzou over Tennessee.
I'm going to say, and this may be a little casual take, but we're going to find out very early. I'm going to say Texas. I know they lost a lot, but I don't think really a lot of people really take them that seriously. I think people, expect them, because they're spending a lot of money in NIL. They're getting some great recruits. They got my man down there doing a great job coaching, and they have a seasoned quarter. They're one of the few teams with a seasoned quarterback who got a lot of, love. But I think, we're going to find out early on against Michigan if they're the real deal. If they can come up north and do their thing and do it convincingly, then I think that's a good starter for them, early in the season. So I'll say Texas.
Okay. So the team I would say, to me, I feel like people are sleeping on now. Do I think this team will be a playoff contender? No, I don't think not yet. But I think people are sleeping on what Nebraska could actually be this year with another year.
Ooh.
I think if you look at the schedule, how it's set up for them, there's a chance that they could We lost some wins.
With Raiola being QB?
Yeah. I think there's still some competition, but to me, I'm kind of expecting, him to
I
be.
didn't expect that one, DT.
Did you look at how that team was last year?
What did they do? Let me look them up last year because
they were pitiful on offense, extremely pitiful, but they had an 11th ranked defense in the country. And they get Colorado week 2 at home, a night game.
Ooh, now speaking of Prime, now listen, Prime, if you trying to get them to the next level, if Shador supposed to be the top quarterback, the top 5 pick, and Travis supposed to be whoever he's supposed to be, I ain't trying to be disrespectful. I'm just saying though, if that's a game you might have to get, almost a must win.
But here's the thing though.
Damn, they're both ways. That's a must win. That's a 50-50.
But hold on. When we had the conversation before, what did I say? I said depending on the Nebraska that you can get, because they almost beat them last time.
Yeah.
Depending on the Nebraska that you get, that should be a game that Prime needs a circle on and be like, hey, tune in, because that could be an easy L. And they played Nebraska at the beginning of the season?
Yeah.
When they still trying to get their feet wet? Like, come on now.
So yeah, I don't know, man. Nebraska's, you know what? I gotta look a little hard. I haven't been paying attention this week. It's media week, but when you look at some of those mid-tier Big Ten teams, I kind of like Rutgers a little bit. I kind of like I like Maryland a little bit. I'm wondering where Washington is going to kind of fall into that, where they are, what they have left over, and with the new coaching staff. So it's going to be very, very interesting. But I'm gonna have to take a look at young Nebraska because I don't know if they're ready yet. We won't see.
Nah, but the Big 12 is open. Let's be real. The two teams that one team, but the 2 teams that were there that can mess everything up is no longer there.
In terms of talking about for Colorado, you mean?
No, I'm just saying not even Colorado, just for the Big 12 as itself. Like with
Texas
and Oklahoma
I see a couple other teams I like a little bit more. I may like Kansas State a little bit more. I may like Oklahoma State. I don't know exactly what they got, but it's a few teams. They got to show and prove for me in Colorado, man. They had us real hype last year, and then they just kind of really just totally crumbled the bag. They didn't drop the bag. They didn't fumble the bag. I'm over got crumbled, ran over, stumped, swept up in the dustpan and thrown out. You know what I'm saying? So they got to show me
something. Got seasoned. You got them buffalo wings.
Smoked in the slip. They almost got put in the Colorado State pack. I mean, it got tough. It got tough last year for them, man.
No, it did. And like I said, and again, if it was tough for them, and not to say that the Pac-12 is any less of what they are, but the Pac-12 legitimately was a good conference last year. Their last year, they were actually pretty dang good. But to struggle the way that they struggled with those type of teams in the Pac-12, UCF, they some dogs. Kansas State, they coming up. Oklahoma State, we seen what Oklahoma State can do. Kansas, if they can stay healthy, they're a problem. Baylor, depending on what Baylor you get, they're a problem. You see what I'm saying? So when you got those, I mean, even TCU gave them a run for their money. So at the end of the day, when you're looking at everything and looking at the Big 12, you got the 2 juggernauts out of there, Oklahoma and Texas. This is anybody's conference.
Y'all don't believe in Utah? I know they transitioned.
Exactly.
Well, I forgot Utah transferred over, but
Utah gave them that work last year, so yeah, definitely got to. If we don't believe, they need to believe. They put pause on them last year, so yeah, they need to believe. You know what I'm saying? What Snoop say? I've been stolen before.
Look, again, I and I agree. They had us hyped for 2 games. They really did. They had us hyped. They had us going. So, it's go time. Like, this is a real testament. And I hate to say this about Deion because I love him. You know, he support Atlanta, and I love him in his career. But this is go time for you, bro. Like, you in a conference that you can technically, if you can get past a couple of people, you can easily win.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if you struggle in the Big 12, I got a lot of questions. And it's going to go back to recruiting and development. That's my 2 questions.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's just a taste of the iceberg for the college football season. We're going to be tapping in very much into this. But now let's go ahead and transition to the NFL. So a lot of NFL topics outside of our teams that we have seen so far. One thing I do want to talk about first, obviously, it's going to be who gonna get that bread, who gonna feed their family, and we have a couple of quarterbacks that are seeking some deals, and one of them is literally in the middle of where C. Henry is Dak Prescott. So I ask you guys on this panel because I had a conversation with my coworker, CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, Dak Prescott. In terms of how you will rank, who you gonna pay first? Who would you pay first out of those 3, and why?
Yikes. So we know Dan Quinn is no longer there. So defense is very important. Then you got CD on the other side, which he has been a very, important person for that. So, and then you got your main guy. Now, I'm a defensive girl. I'm a defensive chick. But one thing I will say about the Dallas Cowboys situation, the first one is CeeDee Lamb. I need to know exactly what his position is. Is he a true number 1 wide receiver? Number 2, he a slot guy? I need to know exactly what his position is before we can shell out any type of money for him. I know he want to get paid. I know he's the main guy over there, but I need to have a definite definition of his role because I still believe that they need somebody big on the other side of him, to be honest with you.
Hold on. This man caught 135 balls last year, Paul. 1,700 yards. What do you mean? I don't care who. They need somebody to do what?
They still need somebody. I mean, the thing about it is, look at
that ain't my problem. I'm a number 1 receiver. If you need a number 2, go get a number 2. But I'm a number 1 receiver. I'm sorry, I'm speaking to C. I went CD first person, third person, whatever. I'm a number 1 receiver. I don't care what you need to get a big, tall, lean or small at wide receiver 2. I'm a top-notch wide receiver 1. Pay me my money.
I mean, I can see that. I really can. But for me, I need a definite role though. Because he plays like a number 1, but then the thing about it is when it comes down to the stretch, something like CD can't handle those double teams like that. You still need somebody to sit over here and take that off. He can't handle them double teams like that. I'm sorry. I'm just being real when it comes down to that.
You talking to me about a lot of other people's problems. I need to talk to you about me and my problem. My problem is this money now.
Well, the problem is, the problem is, in my honest opinion, I feel like Jerry gonna pay Mika before anything. And in my honest opinion, Jerry loves that defense. He wants his defensive player. He went out and got this guy when a lot of people didn't think of how to use him besides, with Dan Quinn in his position. So at the end of the day, again, to me, Jerry looking for his Troy Aikman steal. He's looking for his Troy Aikman steal. That's why when it comes down to Dak, in my honest opinion, that's why I always think that he's real slow with paying this man. Because I'm like, I think Jerry, like, look here, I'm looking for my next Troy Aikman. He's looking for that Super Bowl too. But in my honest opinion, if anything, it will go Mika. I will go Mika. Because if you lose Minka, that's it. That's your defense.
Hold on. Who you say you gonna go? Who you gonna go?
I want Minka Parsons. I want him going. Because if not, he can go ahead and come on to the Falcons, baby. Come on over here.
I'm gonna tell you like this, man. Listen, I apologize for interrupting, but I heard that my man needed his role defined. That just threw me a little bit right there, man. I mean, CD is clearly a wide receiver 1. I don't care if he played in the slot, outside, whatever. He is a wide receiver 1. If he's demanding a double team and nobody else is getting open, then that's somebody else's problem. You need to get Brandon Cooks on the line. You need to get whoever they drafted, Jalen, whoever his name is on the line.
Look, you're doing that. You don't even know who the wide receiver 3 and stuff is.
Man. No, because you know why I don't know. You know why I don't know. You know why I don't know. Because you ain't made enough plays. You ain't made enough plays. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't know. I know everybody who's making a play. I know everybody who's making a play.
Look, I'm just gonna say this: they made the worst decision by letting Amari Cooper walk away. That's all I gotta say.
That was wrong. Yeah, hey, listen, that was bad business. But with that being said, to your point, DT, the question was, who would I pay first? So here's the deal, right? I think Michael, we still can get a 5th-year option on him, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken.
I believe so. I can pull that.
I believe this is Dak's last. I'm sorry, this is Dak's last year. CD, I'm paying him because he has produced. He's shown he's the man, and I don't care if whoever my quarterback is or whoever my defensive end is, I want him there. When I look at all 3 of those guys and to say who's the best player of all 3 of those players, it's him. Who's probably going to be the most economical? Maybe Michael, but most likely it's going to be him. For what we've seen, who's going to be giving the most return on my investment? It's probably him. So I'm paying CD regardless of who my quarterback is. If I go young there, if I make a move, it's an asset to have CD there. So he's my number 1 guy. Now, with Micah
does have his 5th-year option picked up. Just want to let you know.
Yeah, he do.
So we got the 5th year already picked up. So we can kind of push it back a year in terms of negotiating. Hopefully, if he's still in camp and doing all that good stuff, I would possibly look to extend him after this season. But I also know that if waiting on that situation right now and him having another good season is going to raise the price tag for me. I got to understand that. If I'm not going to try to sign him right now and extend him right now, I have to understand that another good year of production for him is going to raise his cost. Now, when you look at that, to me, it's a no-brainer to pay Dak, but at the same time, I'm not a fan. I haven't sat in, the shoes of Dallas fans and haven't really been, upset by some of the losses in the playoffs. Some people say that the losses are a team game or a team stat. And, I just feel like he's played extremely well during the regular season. He's been almost an MVP on a couple of different occasions. He's been top 5 in passing yards on a couple of different occasions. He's been top 5 on touchdowns on a couple of different occasions. So he's put himself statistically at the top of the food chart. The problem is the wins in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, do you pay him top dollar? Because he's going to demand top dollar. He's not demanding golf money, which is top dollar right now, but really going to end up being middle of the road money. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He came $2 million over where Patrick Mahomes been all saying getting 2 or 3 years already. So is he going to get top dollar? So I think that Dallas, and it's crazy, I would pay him, but I feel like they may be like, listen, if you don't get us to the promised land, we may be able to walk away. Speaking of Troy Aikman, we got Troy Aikman. His price tag was probably 10, 12 million, 15, 20 million dollars back in the day. And we about to pay you 60 and you can't get us to the second round of the playoffs. Boy, Jim in there talking about Jerry Jones, and they're like, I remember when the dollar went a longer way, man. We can't be paying you all this money, Dak, and you ain't getting us nowhere in the playoffs. So he may be fed up. I don't know, but to me, it's CD, it's Micah. If I can push it, if I can kick the can down the road a little bit. If not, I'm probably trying to pay him now, and that may save me some dollars on the back end. And then it's Dak because he's going to cost the most. And again, we might have a question it might be a question to be answered after this season. So that's how I see it.
I mean, I agree with you. I mean, like I said, I just feel like that defense, you got to find a way to keep that defense together because, again, when we're looking at it and thinking about it, that defense is what kind of kept them in some of them games. Because there were some games that they could actually technically lost. Because of some indecisions by Dak and different things. But even just to touch on the Dak situation, I'll be honest with you. I really don't think that Jerry really had faith in Dak, I think he was trying to ride out Romo as long as he could, but unfortunately that just didn't happen. Dak was winning those games at the time, and it kept them into the consideration of the playoffs and making their ways to the Super Bowl. So I think even the first time when it took him a long period of time to pay him the first time, I think it was like a what have you done for me lately type scenario, but there was no other option. So you had to roll with him. And now we're back here again. And now it's a really like, what have you really done for me to make me think that I can pay you 60 million a year and you can't even get over the hump? You know what I'm saying? So
And I have to say this because I like Dak as a quarterback. I think that he's tremendously skilled, and again, I think he statistically has put himself in position to be, paid amongst like the Burrows and the Allens and Mahomes. But to that point, all those guys, except for Allen, been to Super Bowls. All those guys been to AFC or NFC championship games. So it's like, okay, I don't want to keep paying you this type of money, and we're not having that type of success. And you've had the cachet around you. You've had Ezekiel Elliott. You've had a top-notch defense. You've had a top-notch offensive line. You've had Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb. You have CeeDee Lamb. You got Brandon Cooks. You got Ferguson. We keep, what I'm saying? We keep the cachet full around, and we're still not getting the results. So I can see how they might be ready for a reset. But the problem that I see is they're still a decent team. They're still a good team on paper. They're still probably going to win 8, 9, 10 games. So with that being said, can you really realistically reset at the quarterback position, probably picking in the 19th or 20th of a draft?
You're gonna have to trade up, and that's and you're probably gonna have to sell a farm and a dog just to even do that. So it just comes to, like I said, I feel like in this situation, if you picked up Parsons' 5th-year option, that's probably a lot of money up front. Extend him first, do that, try to open up some ways to get that. Then you can go to do CD after that, and then you can figure out and work your way up with Dak. I feel like just, give Dak just an extension. Give him about 1 or 2 more years. Don't just drop off a new contract. That's what I feel like. Because again, if they can't make it this year, to be honest with you, if they can't make it to the playoffs or make it far deep into the playoffs, I don't see 60 million in Dak's future, honestly.
They don't make it to the playoffs. I think they're going for a reset. If they win, they win 9 games or less and don't make the playoffs, whenever it's looking real bad, they may start to tank because they may want to get into that quarterback situation.
This is where I'm at, right? So I, unfortunately, it might surprise y'all, my mindset has always been, it's like, okay, you let go of Dak. Who are you going to find that can replace it? Because we know in this league, and we've seen from a lot of teams that have been struggling to at least get one quarterback to stay on their rookie contract and get extended. It's hard to find that guy under center. But listening to both of your conversations and both of your perspectives, I understand where you guys are coming from. Because once you keep a guy like Micah and CD, they are still young building pieces if they have to hit the reset button. They might not like to hit the reset button as players because they know they have a shot in the window to win a Super Bowl, but they are still building blocks. And I think for this team, and we look at it overall, they have really done nothing in the offseason to improve it. Like,
let's be real.
You have questions of wide receiver spot after Brandon Cooks. The running game, okay, you got Zeke back, but are they going to be effective inside running? New offensive line in terms of the middle. No center, left guard questions. Well, not left guard questions, but really left tackle because you drafted defense. New defensive coordinator. Trayvon Diggs recovering from an ACL. New philosophy. Like, are they going to adjust? Like, and then you're also in the NFC with the 49ers, with Philadelphia, with the Lions. Where do you stack up now in terms of your roster? Those are question marks.
Yeah, so, and Adam just came out and literally said that Cowboys are basically emphasizing that negotiating these contracts, these massive contracts between these three is going to take time. So again, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta. It's. I feel like right now Dallas has a lot of growing pains. a lot of growing pains right now that they got to get through.
Well, that's breaking
So,
news now.
yep. That's why I say that just like Adam just dropped it just now. Literally.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, man.
So,
I'm looking at the roster, right? And again, though,
mhm.
man, you know what I'm saying? If I'm in the NFC East, I am feeling like they probably thumbing their nose at y'all because they didn't do nothing really to really improve themselves. But I still see a quality competitive roster. Still quality, still competitive. Some guys gonna have to step up. I don't know what they're gonna do at the running back spot. Maybe Rico Dowdell is the answer with Ezekiel Elliott as his mentor. But we'll see though. But with that being said, though, I think it still can compete in the NFC. And again, if you get Dak Prescott doing that same, kind of year that he had last year, and that's probably going to be contingent on CD Lamb being there, of course. But he threw 46, 4,500 yards, 30 touchdowns, 7, 8 interceptions. They're going to be in the mix. You know what I mean? So, and again, you probably have to pay him that top-notch money, but it's going to be interesting to see.
Again, it's gonna come down to. I mean, you can pay him that top notch money based off of regular season. We all know that Dak is a regular season QB, and if for whatever reason team gets to the playoffs, ain't the same team. Like, don't get me wrong, yeah, they beat Tom Brady, but y'all beat a weak Tampa Bay team. Like, they were going through their trials and tribulations. At that time, Tom Brady's last year, y'all did that, and bam, you know what I'm saying? So again, how much pressure, like, and I hate to do this compare and contrast because they play each other this year, but we gotta have that same talk. If we're talking the same thing about Lamar Jackson, you gotta have that same talk about that. Can't say anything with Lamar Jackson when you gotta have that conversation too about that.
So you know what though? You know what? To me, it's different conversations though. It's different conversations because first of all, Lamar do got them MVPs. That changes the game. To whom much is given, much is
Yeah,
expected.
but can we also be honest though?
But
Lamar's
has not.
season was, in terms of statistically, it was an average quarterbacking season. Dak really had the numbers to back up to be MVP.
But that's the counter argument. Lamar, we get on him for not winning games, but Lamar has never had what Dak Prescott has had. He's never had a CD Lamb quality wide receiver or an Amari Cooper wide receiver. He's never had. His offensive line has been good, but I don't think it's been as good as the best as when Dallas was the heyday of Dallas and Dak. You know what I'm saying?
They had 3 All-Pros. If I'm not
he hasn't played with an Ezekiel Elliott type running back in his tenure there. Derrick Henry's going to be the first, running back of that type of caliber that he's going to play with. So that's the hard part. With that being said, has he won more playoff games? Yes, he has. Yes, he absolutely has. And if you want to say he's a non-thrower and he's only a runner, that even makes it even more impressive that he's been able to win these games without these type of players around him. So I don't know.
I mean, I get that point, but even though, but I'm not saying that we're comparing apples to oranges. I mean, yeah, Lamar doesn't have what Dak has, but then that just makes the Dak situation a little bit worse because how come you can't do anything if you have all this talent? That's my question.
I want to see Lamar with a CD and see what's up. We see even with Mahomes, he can do it any type of way, but we had a chance to see him. He got a chance to really, really sow his oats, if you will, with Tyreek and a Kelsey out there. You know what I'm saying? And an Andy Reid back here. So again, Lamar, he catches a lot of flack. And again, I'm a pure believer in to whom much is given, much is, much is to be expected of you. And you might get criticized. We hold you to a higher standard if you're supposed to be that guy. But at the same time, let me see him with a Keenan Allen. We talk about Justin Herbert and how great he is, but let me see Lamar with a Keenan Allen. Let me see him with a DJ Moore. Let me see him with somebody besides the Jags he's been playing with. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I agree.
I get what you're saying. I definitely see it. So my thing is this. I see both points. I think where E is coming from in terms of the playoff expectations, it has literally been the same with Dak Prescott and Lamar Jackson. And where you're going is, despite of what everything that Dak Prescott has, Lamar ain't got it.
Yeah.
To your point, right there, to what you just said, DT. The question for me would be, okay, if their expectations are the same, then why? How could they be? I mean, like, why are they? Why? I mean, you got to tell me because on one side you got a stacked board of why they expectations, but why should Lamar and Baltimore's expectations be so astronomically high from what they have offensively?
Because they got Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, that's.
But the problem is when it comes down to Dak, when it comes down to Dak in a Cowboy situation, you got the defense, you got the offense, you got the weapons. What's the issue? That's the thing.
I think we're all. I think we're all agreed.
We're on the same page. We're on the same page.
It's the question we just can't answer, man. Because like, it's a tough question. Like, to be honest,
No, it really is. Like Henry made a point. Lamar doesn't have what Dak has, but why are we holding Lamar? And I'm like, because it's Lamar Jackson. But then when you look at the Dak situation, we got high expectations for them because they got a team. So it's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I mean, but that's why I said, I'm like, if we're gonna talk about Lamar and his high expectations, let's talk about Dak with his high expectations, because at the end of the day, you got the squad. So there shouldn't be no reason.
But when we talk about Lamar, we talk about him amongst the names of Mahomes, Allen, whoever's the top notch in the game. We talk statistically about what Dak does in the regular season, but when we talk about him, we talking about, is he better than Goff? Is he ain't nothing but Kirk Cousins with more melanin? We you know what I'm saying? When we talk about him, we put him in a different class of quarterbacks. So to me, that's why I think they're not having the same conversations. But again, I asked to a lot of folks who talk about Lamar in that way, and now we're going to find out about Allen, because he's not going to have anybody to throw to like that. You know what I'm saying? That we see like that right now. But why is Lamar's expectations so high when he ain't, you know? And again, even Andrews. I'm an Andrews guy. He's a nice piece. He's a nice tight end, but he's an 800, 900 guy. He's not Kelsey. He's not Kelsey.
I mean, I don't think really nobody's going to be on Kelsey's level with the way Reed using him.
The people got to equate. Well, oh, he's got Andrews. Like, well, Andrews.
Well, I mean,
he's not.
Well, when they say that too, you got to think of where he came from. He really only had Hollywood Brown and Andrews. You know what I'm saying? So you got to see where they're coming from with that, and with a Travis Kelsey and even a Kittle type situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to think about how they're incorporating that. Now, again, he's getting a little bit more weapons. He's getting a little bit more wide receivers. He's getting him a running back. He got the defense. Again, now we're about to see what really can Lamar Jackson do with a little bit. Now, am I going to say and say that they're a CD?
Because I'm looking at Zay and Rashad and
I mean, you gotta give them chances. It's their second year under Todd Monken. But it's their second year under Todd Monken. Let's see what Todd can actually get out of him. Let's see what he really can actually do. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, when we look at Dak in that situation, we seen what he can do with them. Even let one of their best wide receivers go, and Amari Cooper, when that probably could have helped elevated them even more. But even then, they still couldn't do anything with Amari Cooper. So
very interesting.
Yeah, but hey, they play each other this year. It might put this argument to rest. He might have to revisit it, but they play each other this year, so we'll see.
We back, baby. We back.
Oh, yeah, we back. We definitely back. Cause that was a juice. We might have to clip.
Thank you, Dog Time, man. Thank you, man. This T-shirt is courtesy of Woodward Sports, man. Thank you, man.
Yeah,
brother.
Definitely got to clip that. All right. So the other topic I wanted to get to was let's go ahead and switch, since we're talking about Baltimore. Let's talk about the AFC. So we know Kansas City, they have won multiple Super Bowls the past couple of years. And we look at every team in that conference, they have either lost some guys or they have made some transitions to try to catch up. who do you think will be your second team behind Kansas City? Because since I have obviously we have put Kansas City because they just won the Super Bowl and they made
Yeah.
some improvements at the wide receiver spot. Who do you think will be the second team behind Kansas City? Is it still the Bills? Bills lost some guys and stuff. Is it Baltimore? Is it the Texans? All the hype they get in this off season. Who do y'all think is the second team to Kansas City Chiefs?
I'll be honest with you. That second spot is going to be up for grabs. I can't pinpoint it right now. To be honest with you, because I be honest with you, I feel the one is going to probably be second behind KC is going to be a team that I don't think anybody would have ever guessed out of that situation. I really do. I really feel like that's what it is. Again, I'm not saying anything against Baltimore. Baltimore can come out and have an amazing season. Joey Burrow can bounce back. He got a new haircut, new style, so he can actually bounce back. Bengals can do something. Texans, dang for sure, is in the mix. To be honest with you, hopefully CJ doesn't have a sophomore slump. For that, I mean, you can even throw in the Tennessee Titans a little bit. They're kind of a little sleeper.
Scratch
my eye. Scratch my eye. You said the Tennessee Titans.
Hey.
I think he not playoffs. He said number 2 seed, right? You said number 2 seed, right?
Yeah, really, the number 2 team. Like
again.
Okay.
I'm throwing in a team that probably nobody's not going to be like, oh snap. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm just saying. Hey,
I wasn't ready for that one. I wasn't ready.
See, South has even said Tennessee's definitely
South needs to be on the YouTube, not on Twitter. Come on,
They improve for sure.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like you do again, the AFC made a lot of teams made a lot of improvements in the offseason. They really have. So
you like Mayo Boy.
I don't like Mayo Boy. I mean, shoot, Georgia was whooping him, but I'm good. I'm good when it comes down to that. But I'm just looking at it from this standpoint. Okay. Don't sleep on Tennessee over there now. That's all I'm saying. Don't sleep on.
Look here, man. Listen. I don't know. It's a tough thing. You know what? I'm not gonna put dirt on Buffalo this year, even though I think they have a lot of a change going on up there. Also, you say you're gonna do it. Also, I'm gonna tell you, the Jets on paper, they look good to me. I like what they did defensively.
Mm-hmm.
I like getting A-Rod back, of course. I like them getting, some wide receiver help. Man, they look tough, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna go the route of Lady E a little bit, not so far. If my man can shake away his demons, I like the roster in Cleveland. If Deshaun Watson can get it together, Amari Cooper's there. They traded, I believe, for Jerry Jeudy over there, who has been kind of underperforming his first couple years in the league. But with that being said, they got a nice little team over there, man. We don't know when Chubb is going to be available, but they got Jerome Ford. Offensive line is there. They got a tough defense. That division, man, Pittsburgh, they got a couple of questions at quarterback. I'm definitely watching that. That's a storyline I'm going to be watching all offseason. During camp. Baltimore, I like them a lot. They got Derrick Henry, but they also lost a couple folks. Morgan Moses, and I believe the center, they also lost him as well on that offensive line. Lost Zeter. We got Zeter as well over here. So they got to retool on that offensive line a little bit. That may help them a lot. And again, that may hinder them a little bit as they try to get some cohesion up front. And then again, the weapons, you know what I'm saying? So who was Lamar really, throwing to? I think Zay had a very, very nice year last year. If he can take that next step, that'll be great. Rashad Bateman, we're hearing all good things about him, but again, no, we don't know if he's going to be that guy. And I believe Aguilar may be still over there, but again, they need to give him a top-notch fella, man. Give him somebody, at least a top 20 wide receiver, man, and see what he can cook up over there in Baltimore. But Cleveland, I think, can surprise us. The Jets, I think, can surprise us. I'm not going to put dirt on the Buffalo Bills. the Texans, man, listen, they had one of the best off seasons in the league. Man. Even with the 2 draft picks in the second round, they did pretty good there as well. So the Texans might be them too. It's wide open, like you said, Lady E. It's wide open. It's wide open in the AFC.
Yeah, it is. It's very wide open. Like I said, you got. I mean, again, you got something. You got sleepers. When it comes down to it, you really got the sleepers. With that, again, like we said, we can put KC up there. They look real good. They, finally got some weapons. They showed us they can win without wide receivers. So again, we're gonna see that. But again, it can shock that number 2 gonna shock some people. I don't think it's gonna be the regular number 2 that we're used to seeing.
It might be KC while you playing.
Again, it can shock people. I'm just throwing that out there.
It might be KC. You know what I'm saying? They took a couple of little losses on, no more Snead in that defensive backfield.
With Tennessee.
I like the additions of Worthy and what's the guy named Hollywood. I like those 2 guys. Those guys are an upgrade over Tony and Sky Moore for sure. And if those guys can, be those speed guys that he had kind of, used to that first year with Tyreek, the first couple years with Tyreek, they can be dangerous. Watch out.
Those are
Hollywood Brown going in 7th and 8th rounds of fantasy drafts right now. I know it's early, but you know what I'm saying? We're trying to help get champions, baby.
All right. So those are some instant choices that you guys have said. So I'm going bias to the state of Ohio because I do see the vision either Cincinnati or Cleveland. However, it all depends on the health of their teams. Joe Burrow got hurt last year.
Yeah.
Watson, he got hurt, but also we still have not seen the Deshaun Watson that we saw in Houston. That's in him. Because when he can play up to his ability, at one point we had conversations about where he ranks among quarterbacks. They have the roster, the defense was one of the best in the league. Cincinnati has a good defense. You got Jamar Chase, you got T. Higgins, both trying to get some bread. Got a deep tight end room. Really, no number 1 tight end, I was to say, for Cincinnati, but they have some guys that can get some targets. The running game, they do lose Joe Mixon, but they go by committee with Chase Brown and Zach Moss. So I like some of the things that the Browns and the Bengals did, and they have that potential. I just think for Cincinnati, it's all about the health and protection for Burrow, and for the Cleveland Browns, it's just putting it all together, and Deshaun Watson putting it all together. And also, got to think about the health of a guy like Chubb too, coming from that injury. Where does the running game look? They were still able to run the ball effectively even without him. But with him, he's to me a top 3 back when healthy.
Well, be honest with you, he's actually dropped a video showing him, I think, was squatting over 600. So he's back.
Yeah, I would definitely, keep him on their fantasy radar as well. And definitely, keep track of him. Definitely. Was he so he's not on the PUP list, right? Or is
I haven't checked their PUP list. I haven't checked it, but I just know I seen the video with him squatting.
That's all I'm squatting.
Yeah, I saw him squatting right after that. So he could possibly be medically cleared later on in training camp, probably before the first game. But I'll just let you know right now, he back.
Oh yeah, he on the PUP list. Okay. Yeah. We'll see. We'll just keep your eye on that for the next couple of weeks, folks.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and close out, but so we're gonna do some reports on what's going on with our camp. So we're gonna start with C. Henry. What's going on in Lions camp?
Man, nothing much, man. You know what I'm saying? Everyone is healthy so far. We're seeing that J-Mo is making a couple of plays in the passing game. Again, that's, if he can give us any type of productivity out of that wide receiver 2 position, that'll be greatly appreciated. Brian Branch still is getting over an injury, but there've been, rumors of him playing at the safety position a lot more this year. trying to keep him on the field a lot more. And that's pretty much been the gist of the first 2 days of camp. Again, us being healthy is key, and us just trying to figure out some of the depth pieces. I think we feel good about our starters, which is for the first time in a long time. Now I think the key positional battles in our camp are going to be going on, basically amongst the backups. Who's going to be the depth pieces behind that offensive and defensive line? Who's going to be the depth pieces behind some of the secondary players as well? There is going to be some competition for the slot cornerback position. Meek Robertson has been getting some run there. Ennis Rackstraw has been getting some run there as well. And Emmanuel Mosley has been getting some runners there in the slot as well. So that's about what's going on in Detroit, baby. Just trying to get ready for, hopefully, man, a long, long run.
That a long, long run. We gonna kick the field goal this time, right?
We manifested. Yeah, we kicking field. Hey. My man Bates is 6 for 6, baby. Couple 50-yarders. Yeah. We working on it.
You know, working. Nah, Lord. But no, we just got back. First day walkthrough, really just trying to go ahead and get the feel. Kirk is medically cleared, as I said before. So we're taking a little bit, things slow. Well, I mean, he took every snap on the first team. So, but he's good to go. He did say that he would more than likely not be playing in any preseason games. So they got a lot of fans up in a roar because they really want to kind of check on that injury, but he won't take it. But we'll get to see Penix more than likely with mixed in with Tyler Heineke. So we get to see some things. So that's good. Ray probably is going to be more than likely our starting slot wide receiver. Put that over there. You got Drake and then you got Mooney out there. They got Kyle lining up all around the field. Bijan is loving the way the offense is. Him and Zach, they sit down and they kind of made them some plays up together too. So that's some good signs. But other than that, like again, we're straight and narrow. Hopefully Grady can get in there and get some snaps, see what he looks like, get him back full 100%. We straight with that. I'm ready to see him back on that defense. I'm just gonna do this small little rant really quick. I do not like where the players put my Jesse Bates in that top 100.
Top 100.
What was he ranked at?
Where is he ranked?
Like 74. And I'm like, what?
Where should you?
I mean, shoot, they had Jonathan Allen up there. I didn't even think he was the 54th best player.
Like, yeah, exactly. I mean, he could have been ranked a little bit higher, top 50 or something. You know what I'm saying? But not what? Like, so yeah. Kind of mad about that. But again, it always comes with any player, it always comes with the Atlanta little bias when it comes down to it. But, his season that he had last year, he was worth every penny. He should have been ranked a little bit higher when it came down there because, in all honesty, he kind of single-handedly kind of helped us win a couple of them games with the quarterback situation that we had last year. So I'm just saying, give that man his flowers and give him his credit. But yeah, so we're going to be kind of going through walkthrough really. Raheem kind of said it today for the next couple of days. They probably won't really dive in deep until next week. And hopefully, thank you. He was 74. I was right. He was 74. So yeah, that's too low for me. But yeah, we'll see. I'm excited to see what Raheem and this new staff is bringing, these new additions, and really excited to see kind of where Kirk is going to put us. So, yep, Kirko Chains in the building. Psych, but yeah.
All right.
I mean, Ray already been to Magic City, so he probably done took Kirk with him. Just saying. That's if he probably sneakily took him in through the back. But yeah, Ray already been to Magic City.
All right, and to end it off, so for Washington side of it, Jaden Daniels for the first 2 days of camp, we're in shorts and stuff, but we have seen his decision making. He has been very decisive from the pocket, and he's been getting the ball out quick within the offense. Another note has been the offense has very up tempo. So I expect a lot of up tempo within his offense. Defensively, Emmanuel Forbes had a pretty solid day. He lost some battles, but he also won some reps against Terry. I like to see that. He also talked about how he bulked up this offseason. One of his main diets has been steak and rice. So love to see that. I love to see his confidence starting to look like it's coming back, working with guys like former Pittsburgh Steelers cornerback William Gay, who was on the Commanders coaching staff, and Richard Simon. So you're seeing the development of trying to get a guy who was one of the best players in the SEC when he was coming out to get him back to the way he was. And also Johnny Newton, just very explosive. And you see him also learning under Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne on the defensive line. So I love some of the young guys that we drafted, and they're becoming sponges to a lot of the vets that's on the team, and it's a new environment. And I love what Dan Quinn said about Mike Sanderstill and Jada Daniels. There are going to be some guys that's going to kick some butt in the next couple of years.
So let me ask you this real quick, because I got some questions, and I want to spark the conversation for not only today but maybe tomorrow in the young spaces. Since Mr. Newton, you know what I'm saying, is looking, you know what I'm saying, on the good foot, if you will, in practice, would you guys be more open to possibly trading one of those elder statesmen at defensive tackle for the likes of Brandon Ayuk?
The thing is, do the Niners have a need at defensive tackle?
Well, I don't. I think they have a need. They did, but I think they have a need, but I don't know if they are willing to pay, because they did let one of their big defensive tackles walk this offseason. So that's the big the question.
Okay, so
that's not hard to do, Deuce.
So if there's a person that would get moved off, I would probably say Jonathan Allen, based off his contract. He was not going to have guarantees. I believe it's this coming year or next year. I'll have to go back and check. He's not going to have no guarantees on the contract. And, you know, he was here before Deron. And I think for the value you can get for Brandon Ayuk, I would love to get Ayuk. I just don't feel like where they at right now. I don't think they're gonna do it. But I definitely would entertain a Jonathan Allen trade based off if Johnny Newton is what he is. When they said he was a top 15 player on their board, and we got him at 36. So, and John Allen, he was also at one point he was a top 3 player in the coming draft he was coming out of, and he fell all the way to 17 when we drafted him. And he has been productive for us, but last year was a down year. We heard him voice his displeasures with the coaching staff to talk about trading. Of course, he says now he's turned a new leaf, but you know, business decisions is going to have to be made in a couple of years. A lot of these guys that we love dearly, they're not going to be on this team next year, and that's the reality we have to accept. Even a guy like Terry McLaurin, who's going to be approaching, probably trying to get
that. Don't say that. No, listen, man. Don't say
you
get excommunicated, man. If you don't get that the okay from the higher ups, dog, from the Holy Grail, don't you say nothing bad about Terry McLaurin.
I'm not saying nothing bad about Terry. I'm just saying reality is, you know, sometimes you might have to make a business decision.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows that. You know, you had that boss one day be like, "Hey, man, I need you for overtime tonight." It'd be like that. But I would say probably Jonathan Allen, but we'll wait and see. I think they still want to wait and
see. I just
see.
threw that out there, man. I know that's a hot topic, man. Hot button topic amongst, you know what I'm saying, the commander, the folks, man. I don't know if they're gonna let Ayuk go, man. I really don't. I think they have a little bit of leverage.
I think they're in a tough situation now because Trent Williams wants some money. Brock Purdy gonna have to get paid.
Yeah, I think they can make it work, though. I think they can make it work. Trent needs some guaranteed money. You know, it don't need everything to be guaranteed, but he needs a little walk around money. He needs a little trick off money. They can get him that. Brandon Ayuk probably needs the same thing. He probably would like to be taken care of long term. A lot of folks, you know, you putting it on the line. You put it on the line for a couple of years. You want to be taken care of. and also you want to secure your long term, you know what I'm saying, needs as well. You don't want to, go out there on a 1 year deal. But again, though, he might, they probably can put something together where they can possibly give him $5 or $6 million. You know what I'm saying, kind of like they did with Amari Cooper over in Cleveland, and kind of appease him, and then look at next year, kind of put it together. They're gonna have to put something together because Trent definitely wants his money. I don't know how long Debo is going to be over there for. It's interesting them in San Francisco. I guess those good problems to have. Only they won a Super Bowl.
Hopefully they'll win a Super Bowl.
But don't get them riled up.
Hey man, listen, man. Somebody.
Hey, look, man. That's all we got for y'all tonight. We back. Football is back, and we're gonna love it for the next couple of months. So y'all know where to catch us. We're gonna be up here every Thursday, and if I'm not mistaken, because we had a little mix-up today, because we told y'all on the giveaway 7:00.
7:00.
Next thing you know, I get a text. We trying to make promos and stuff like that.
Listen, that was probably just for me. That was just for CP time. They gave me the earlier time. I apologize. That was just for me. 7:00. 6:30 me. Okay. How we do this?
This text me is like,
was I on time? That's the only question. That was on time. Yeah.
He said I looked sleepy in the video. I was like, okay, I was up last night. Then said you gave the wrong time. I was like, what wrong time? Then I see the promos in the chat. I said,
hey, man,
you guys said 6:30. I took a screenshot. I said we told him 7:00.
Hey man, listen, CP, that's just for me. That's all. God ain't done with me yet.
But we're going to be here next week at 6:30. Also, we wanted to let you know we're going to do something new this year. We're going to be dropping clips, where it's NFL or college, but we're going to start off with some college football clips for y'all this week, leading up to the next episode of Enters the Lab podcast presented by RedzoneDCMedia. So look, it's your boy DT. We got Lady E and the OGC Henry. We'll catch you guys next Thursday for another episode of Enters the Lab podcast presented by RedzoneDCMedia. Y'all have a great night.